have your flip-flops on and then like cool bottoms and stuff because it was so hot. And that was the point where you went to hospital like three times because they overheated in the set. But then what happened is when you got a day off, it was so rare and it was lovely, and instead of getting a day off, what you used to have to do was to go and dub over whatever episode that you needed to dub over, and literally every line we had to dub over, right? So then they decided it was taking too long for us to drive from the set to Fox Studios where the dubbing place still was, so then they built an ADR studio right on set, so if ever we had like a little moment off or a scene off or anything, we'd be like going to our trailer, sneaking away, trying to relax, and they're like, hey, you ready for your ADR? And then we'd get ushered in and we'd get put on the headphones and dub over whatever episode we had to do at the time. So it was pretty technical, but I like ADR because you can just completely beef your performance up again.
Just speaking about the heat, one of my enduring images is Anthony fully dressed as Dargo up here, and then some kind of floral boxer shorts. That's what you'd see, and with his arms kind of stacked down the tubes on an air conditioner. It's a good look.
Sexy.
Sexy and you know it.
Hey, I work for a production company doing visual effects and special effects, so I watch Farscape all the time for a lot of inspiration. Actually, Farscape got a company ban in my place because me and my props guy were watching it so much during a month-long build. He and I were the only ones that got it, so everyone else hated it. But we made it up to the Peacekeeping Wars. Almost got there. But I was wondering, in the outtakes of season 3 during Revenging Angel, you had that hilarious speech with the tentacles up after you got blown up. You're talking about. Where does that come from?
It's funny actually because actors, but when I was still acting, which I don't anymore, actors have showreels. You know what a showreel is? So where you put bits of work that you've done together so that you can show potential people your wares, so they can get a sense of your performance and your range and all those type of things. I have 2 moments from Farscape on it. I have a scene with Gigi and I, which is really serious and dramatic and things like that. And people think I'm nuts because I have that outtake. I forget how it goes. And that's the key to playing science fiction, you know. The first is an angry face. It goes something like this. Grr. And the second thing is sexual ambiguity.
You said you forgot how it went.
Yeah. On my showreel. And people are like going, what is this guy put this on his showreel? And because Australians don't know Farscape, they're all going, what is this show? Awesome stuff.
So one of my favorite things about the show is the awesome costumes and the makeup and everything. And I've been learning that costumes often go wrong. So I'm wondering, what are some of the most interesting costume-related incidents that have happened on the show for each of you?
I got a good one where a costume wasn't involved. There are a few good ones. I always painted all up from earmuffs, and you don't need to hear this. It was a love scene, passionate love scene with a character called Jotty. And anyway, so we're doing what we do and everything, and they painted me all up, and right before I go on set, they said, oh, here you go, you'll need these, and they were like 2 little flowery band-aids, and I went, what do I need them? They went, you've got to pop them on there. And I said, that's just awkward because you're all grey and then you've got these little flower things. Look, don't worry about it, I'm all good, just paint me up, you know, we all know each other, we've worked on this set for so long, we're all good. They said, no, you actually have to do it because it's a legal thing, health and safety, or I don't know how that makes any sense, but sorry.
Nipple injuries are an incredibly dangerous thing in the film industry, and people have not been taking it serious enough. So when you go home and when you work on a film set, ensure that you and your loved one's nipples are fully and properly protected.
So then did that, and then they're shooting it, and then they said, well, there's a small kind of problem because in the costume she's got a bit of cleavage, and now there's just nothing. So what they had to do is they had to get a bit of gaff tape and tape the two things together so there's a little bit of cleavage. Paint it up all grey, and anyway, so on we go with the scene, and we're getting a bit raunchy as you do, and then everything's heating up, and then halfway through I'm sort of looking at Jotham and I'm like, that's weird, I've never noticed that before in my head, and it's like a bit of gaff tape stuck to one of his tentacles, and I'm like, that's not going to be good. So it's like a strip of bare nothingness. And no one really stopped the take. I'm like, should we stop? We'll just keep going. That was probably my top costume malfunction personally.
It's not a disaster, but with the original Stark mask, they were going to have me wired my microphone stuck in my head. So there is in the design, and they kept it in subsequent masks, but there's a design put in of the microphone thing. So if you look at the mask, there's this kind of thing at the front, which is where the microphone was, but it proved too hard somehow to mic me up with it, and thank God they took it away, because it meant that I could take the mask off and put it down, otherwise I would have had it dangling with this microphone going. Yeah. And also, originally I got a really sore eye from blinking, and then eventually we had to cut away part of the mask so that I could blink naturally and not get an erased eye. Yeah.
Okay, you guys have 4 minutes.
Okay, let's go for 3 questions. Let's go bang, bang, bang. These guys here in the line there. You don't want to wait on your knees in the middle of the room. I didn't get my question.
You guys have such a unique show and unique opportunities in that on a lot of shows you get to be out of character. Revenging Angel, out of their minds, won't get fooled again. You touched on it with the Avatar, John Quixote. Which was your favorite out of character moment?
I like the one where I cracked onto Ben, pushed his back up against the wall and gave him a good going over.
Was that on in front of the camera, or?
In rehearsals.
There was an episode where we all switched characters. I can't remember the name of the episode, but yeah, we all got to play somebody else, and that was great because you could try and model it on the other person, obviously, and that was a ball.
I got to be like possessed by an energy rider, and that was cool because you're like, oh, well, what would this evil energy rider sound like? And so I thought, instead of making her really menacing and horrible, make her really sweet. So that's where the show came from. And then I just screwed around with Ben a lot too, so it's a common theme here.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Countdown, no pressure.
This may be a bad question, but I wanted to ask anyway.
Next question.
I've been struggling with it. Farscape is a great show, but it's a very odd show. So trying to introduce people to the show, finding an episode that kind of highlights what the essence of Farscape is, has been difficult. If you guys had any suggestions.
I'll answer that. I don't want to rave on because I know we're short of time. This was actually Sci-Fi's main problem with Farscape. And some notes that kept coming back to it. And Sci-Fi's, and you might say it's legitimate, not legitimate, but their issue always was it's hard to grow Farscape's audience base because it's very, very difficult to come in halfway through. It's just there's so much going on. There's so many relationships. There's so much lore, if you like, about the universe that you really have to track right from the beginning to understand where you're up to. So that's just a little tangent in answering that question. For me, I really loved. To answer that question in terms of getting to know lots of different characters, the story itself, blah, blah, blah. For me, it was DNA Mad Scientist in season 1. There's something about the elements of that entire ep which says to me, Farscape. There's beautiful, touching moments of CGI. There's just incredible emotional moments. There's funny moments. There's really, really dark moments in that episode. And the prosthetic, and I know it's one of the Creature Shop's favourite thing that they ever created, but the scientists themselves on the stilts and things like that, that was an amazing creature to act opposite. And it just, when we got to that episode, I went, wow, we're really in the A-team here now, because this, just what I'm seeing around me, it had been good up until those episodes, but we hit that episode and I went, oh, we've arrived. We've really arrived. This is the type of episodes that we want to make from now on. So I always think of that episode.
I'd just say, just do whatever you possibly can to just get them to hang in there until Stark and Shiona arrive. And then rise at the same time. He was a pretty good character too.
Before we go, can we get all the Farscape characters up on stage so that we can take photos with them? We have a quick photo with all the Farscape gang. Thanks for having us, guys. You've been amazing. Thank you
guys are incredible. Come and see us.